When muscle failed, they turned to their magic.
Open wide. Drink up.
Not the whole thing.
Useful distillations, deadly concoctions, unstable admixtures, and sorcerous elixirs can be powerful augmentations to any party in Pathfinder 2. And the power of the mortar and pestle isn't just in the hands of the alchemist class. For the commitment of a skill proficiency and a skill feat, every class, from barbarian to wizard, can get in on the alchemical fun. But before we dive into the mix, let's define terms. What are alchemical items? Alchemical items are crafted non-magical items with a variety of effects, like strengthening the user, harming the enemy, or creating a useful effect. Alchemical items fall into a few categories. Number 1, bombs. Bombs are martial thrown weapons with a range of 20 feet. When you throw a bomb, you make a weapon attack roll against the target's AC. Many bombs have the splash trait. When attacking with a splash weapon, you don't add your strength modifier to the damage roll. If your attack fails, succeeds, or critically succeeds, the target and all creatures within 5 feet take the bomb's splash damage. On a failed attack, your target does not take damage from the bomb except for the bomb's splash damage. Attacking with a bomb is one strike action. Number 2, elixirs and mutagens. This alchemical item is drunk to gain its benefits. You can feed an elixir to a willing or helpless creature within 5 feet. Mutagens function like other elixirs except they provide at least one benefit and at least one drawback. Using an elixir is one interact action. Number 3, poisons. These dangerous substances can be introduced to your target in a number of ways, including contact. Contact poisons are applied to an item or directly to your target. Ingested. Ingested poisons are eaten or drunk, either with food or straight. Inhaled. Once released, an inhaled poison fills a 10-foot cube for 1 minute, or until it's dispersed by strong wind. If a creature is aware of the cloud of poison, it can hold its breath for a +2 bonus on its save. Finally, the most common type of poison is injury. These poisons are applied to a piercing or slashing weapon. Sorry, if you wanted to wield a poison hammer, that's not going to work. On a successful hit, the target must save against the poison. Using an ingested, inhaled, or contact poison requires one interaction action. Applying poison to a weapon takes 3 actions. Now, if you're familiar with poisons from Pathfinder 1E, you'll find them to be much more dangerous in Pathfinder 2. They actually do HP damage, as well as adding debuffs, making poison users a much more viable character concept. Finally, there are alchemical tools. These are consumable items that you don't drink. Now that you know the major categories of alchemical items that you can craft, let's talk about crafting itself. In order to craft alchemic items, you must have the Alchemic Crafting feat. This is a general skill feat. Most characters gain skill feats on 2nd level, and every 2 levels thereafter. However, humans can gain access to Alchemic Crafting at level 1 by using their General Training Ancestry feat. In order to qualify for this feat, you must be trained in crafting. Certain backgrounds, like the Tinkerer background, gain the trained level proficiency in the craft skill. Also, do remember, alchemists receive Alchemic Crafting as part of their 1st level in the class. When you take this feat, you gain 4 formulas for common first-level alchemic items in a formula book. Formulas are basically instructions for making an item. Formulas for common items are available for purchase at DM discretion. The prices for formulas are set by the item level created with the formula. As an example, a level 1 formula will cost you 1 gold. Level 2 will cost 2 gold. Level 3 will cost 3 gold. Level 4 will cost 5 gold. Level 5 will cost 8 gold, etc. until you get to your level 20 formulas, which will cost 3,500 gold. Rarer formulas are worth much more gold and are much harder to come by. Once you have your formula in hand, now you can finally get down to crafting. You can craft alchemical items from raw materials as a downtime activity. The item must be your level or lower to be crafted. If the item is 9th level or higher, you must be a master craftsman. If the item in question is 16th level, you must be a crafting legend. Obviously, you have to have the formula if you want to make the item. You also have to have the appropriate tools. An alchemist tool set costs 5 gold. Next, you must have a minimum of raw materials equal to half the item's price. Once you have all that, you'll spend 4 days of downtime activity crafting your item of choice. Then at that point, you'll make a craft alchemy check. The DC for crafting an item is set by your DM. The level-based DC of a check is given on table 10-5 on page 503 of the Pathfinder 2e core rulebook. As an example, a level 1 item would have a craft check of DC 15, level 2, DC 16, level 3, DC 18, level 4, DC 19, level 5, DC 20. Additional modifiers can be added based on the rarity of the item. An uncommon item gets a +2, rare items get +5, and unique items get +10. As an example, you're trying to craft Drow Lethargy Poison. The price for this poison is 7 gold, so you'll need 3 gold, 5 silver in raw materials to start. The item is level 2, which would have a DC of 16 as a craft check, but the formula is uncommon, so the DC is raised by +2 to DC 18. Once you've made your dice roll, then you'll know whether you've succeeded or failed. If you succeed with, let's say, a 21 on your craft check, you will successfully make the poison. And if you wish, you can spend additional days of downtime to reduce the price of the item. The amount at which you can decrease the cost of an item is given on table 4-2, page 236 of the core rulebook. If you don't want to reduce the price and you just want your item immediately, you can pay the remaining 3 gold, 5 silver to get the poison. Now let's say you didn't do very well and you just rolled a 15. You would fail to complete the item, but you can scavenge all of the raw materials and try again. If you somehow manage to roll a 29, this would be a critical success. Not only do you complete the item, but the price of the item can be reduced with additional days of work by your level +1. So if you were a level 8 character and made that check, you would be able to reduce the price as if you were level 9. Finally, if you really skunked and rolled a 7 and got a critical fail, you would both fail to make the item and you would ruin 10% of your raw materials in the process. Let's keep going with the lethargy poison example and explore some of the other things you can do with alchemy. Let's say your party is investigating a drow ambush site, and one of the items you recover is an unused arrow coated in a mysterious substance. You can use the Identify Alchemy action using your alchemy tools. This could allow you to successfully identify the substance on the arrow as lethargy poison. In order to do this, you must spend 10 minutes and succeed on a check. If you fail your check, you don't identify the poison and can try again. However, if you completely critically fail, you misidentify the poison. You could think they're drow healing arrows or something. Next, once you've identified it, you can use your captured dose of poison to attempt to reverse engineer the formula. This takes the same time as crafting the item from a formula, and you'll use the item's craft check, i.e. 18. If you succeed, you craft the item's formula. You must, however, pay the formula price as set by your DM. Now that I've gone over some of the exciting things you can do with alchemy, let's go over some of the items that you might wish to craft, starting with the bombs category. First up, I recommend Alchemist Fire. This has the largest damage die of the bombs at 1d8, as well as persistent burning damage. The problem is, fire is a common resistance type for enemies to have. If you're interested in something a little more exotic, you might think about crafting Thunderstones. These deal sonic damage, only a small damage die of 1d4, but resistance is much less likely. Additionally, creatures within 10 feet of the Thunderstone must make a save or be deafened. The final bomb I'm going to recommend for you are Tanglefoot Bags. This is a nice debuff to your enemy's movement speed, and like all bombs, it has a good action economy. Next up, elixirs. First up, the ever-useful Elixir of Life, a nice non-magical source of healing, and it gives you a bonus to saves as well. Finally, it can be made at multiple levels, so as you increase in character level, the Elixir of Life can still be a nice item for you to make. Next up, Quicksilver Mutagen. This is perfect for characters that like to fight at range or focus on stealth. Quicksilver Mutagen gives you a bonus to ranged attacks, stealth, thievery, reflex saves, and a speed boost. But you take a -2 to fort save, and you take damage equal to twice your level when you drink the elixir. So don't get hit. Finally, Juggernaut Mutagen. This is great for tanky characters. You gain temporary HP and a bonus on fort saves, at the penalty of a -2 on will saves, perception, and initiative rolls. Next, let's look at poisons. Giant Centipede Venom, especially early game. This is an injury poison and it's very cheap with a DC 17 fort save. It's great for coating ammunition. It does poison damage and gives a minor debuff. Next, Nettleweed Residue. This is a contact poison with a 1-minute onset and a max duration of 6 minutes. It has a DC 27 fort save and heavy poison damage. Stage 1 is 8d6, Stage 2 is 10d6, and Stage 3 is 13d6. Finally, Brimstone Fumes. This is an inhaled poison and difficult to craft, but it has a DC 36 fort save with poison damage and enfeeblement. Finally, let's go over some alchemic tools, such as smoke sticks. Using a smoke stick creates cover for all creatures within the smoke. The smoke will last for 1 minute or until dispersed by strong wind. Finally, the ever-useful sun rod will last for 6 hours and create bright light within 20 feet and dim light out to 40 feet. I hope you've enjoyed the D6 Damage Alchemy Guide for Pathfinder 2. Now, if you're interested in more character builds, strategy guides, and more, check out D6 Damage on YouTube or BitChute. And if you want to take your game to the next level, join the D6 Damage Discord. We have forums and discussion groups on dungeon mastering, character builds, strategy guides, and all aspects of Pathfinder. You can find the Discord link down in the description. Thank you for watching.